hated doing PI notes. But if I had that case on my desk on my work day, and I did that first, it propelled me to get a lot more done because that procrastination was hanging over my head. And if I was able to knock that out, I could finish a whole lot more that day and in the weeks to come without that looming over me. Welcome to AMC. I'm Dr. Tara Horrall. Today we're going to cover a daily goals breakdown. A lot of doctors and a lot of the public really have found goals to be a drag. They find goals to be demotivating, and honestly, they find the word goal altogether to be scary and have a negative connotation. It really doesn't need to be that way. I was teaching a class on goals, and one of the doctors said, "Can we just stop using that word? Just call it, what's your vision?" Because everybody has a vision that they want for your life. So if that helps you, go ahead. We're going to talk about a vision breakdown today. Essentially, goals, when you have them, create energy, enthusiasm, and fun in the office. But if you have goals and you have no idea how to reach them at all, it actually can make them demotivating. And they can be really demotivating for your staff as well. What I find is that a lot of doctors have really big goals. They've read the books and they've listened to the recordings about having really big goals, but they never break those down into smaller pieces, into bite-sized chunks, so that not only they can achieve those goals and feel like they're not overwhelming, but also for their staff, the people that are supposed to be their team, the people that are going to be helping them to reach those goals, they never break them down for their staff. They never break it down into what their actual daily activities are in order to make those goals a reality. And you can figure, if they never break it down for their staff, they never get them on board with the goals, they never tell them what their actual pieces are that they need to do every single day in order to reach those goals, the goals never get reached, and they do become a drag, demotivating, negative, so on and so forth. So today, we're going to work on making goals really positive, really fun, really motivating, and really make it something that you and your team can work together to create the goals that you're looking, the vision for your practice and for your life, so you can achieve them, so you guys can celebrate and really change more lives and help more people. Because at the end of the day, what's the goal for unless we're going to be helping and saving more people? So if you're going to set goals, you got to consider, first of all, what is it that you even want? What do you want? Everyone wants something. So think about that. What do I want? What does my staff want? What are we looking to accomplish? Then you need to know, where are you now? Because if you don't start, you have to start where you are. And you've got to start from there to create the goals that you're looking for. Then you need to look at your day. So for example, if you have a patient visit goal, all right, we want to see 1,000 more patient visits next month or by the end of the year. How many more could you actually see? And if you can't envision seeing that many more before you even get started, then you're probably never going to reach it. You have to be able to see it clearly and see it as possible before you're ever going to reach the goal. So then you need to consider, between you and your staff, what training, what information, and what materials do we not have right now that we would need, or that we would need to improve upon in order to reach those goals? What connections do we need? Do we need more staff? Do we need to change some layout of our office? Do we need to get a larger parking lot, or whatever it may be? So think about those things. What training, what information, what materials that I don't have right now, what connections that I don't have right now, what staff that I don't have right now, would I need in order to really make that goal happen? Then, once you've got the goal and you know what you need to do, it's a matter of doing it. Brian Tracy, in his book, Eat That Frog, he suggests doing what you hate the most first. If you do what you hate the most, which for me, I don't know about any of you, but PI notes was I hated doing PI notes. But if I had that case on my desk on my work day and I did that first, it propelled me to get a lot more done because that procrastination was hanging over my head. And if I was able to knock that out, I could finish a whole lot more that day and in the weeks to come without that looming over me. So consider that. Try doing the thing that you are dreading the most. Do it first to build energy to get more things done. Break it down. Like we said, this is about a goals breakdown. So break down that goal into bite-sized pieces. So like we said, if you're setting a patient visit goal and you're currently seeing, again, just for ease of conversation, you're currently seeing 10 a day and you want to see 200 patient visits in a week, do the math. Let's see, if I'm going to see 200 patients and I'm going to do that, let's say in 4 days a week, I need to see 50 patient visits a day. And if I'm seeing 10 a day and I want to go to 50, that can be a pretty large gap to cross in order to get there. So I need to break it down, give myself some incremental goals, give my staff some incremental goals, a chance to really have a win. So if I'm seeing 10 people a day and I want to get to 50 a day, what I might do is try having my goal at, okay, let's just see 2 more. So if we want to see 2 more, right now we have 10, let's see if we can see 12 today. Okay, so where are the 12 going to come from? Well, first of all, we need all of our patients to keep their appointments. So what can we do in order to ensure that? Number 2, we could have some drop-in call-ins, right? Number 3, I could be thinking as a doctor of those people who weren't as good the last time I saw them and do something special like call to check in on them. 3, we could have some new patients call in. All right, well, let's get really specific about what that looks like. What do they look like? What kind of problems do they have? Maybe, okay, we could have some new patients call in. Maybe I have some time at lunch and I could hop out to a gym and do a screening and generate 1 to 2 or 5 new patients. And maybe a couple of those could schedule today. Also, my staff could do recalls. Okay, who are those people that haven't been in my office for 90 days or more that I could plant the seed of them coming back into the office? Just refresh their memory about me and about their problem and why they ever came here to begin with. So let's just give you an example, and you can see how now that gives you and your staff some additional action steps to put in place on a daily basis to really make those goals a reality. So once we would get to the 12, right, we would celebrate, right? Enjoy that success that you had. Pat them on the back. You know, there was a book called The Positive Power of Praising People. That's a lot of P's, but that's so important to praise your staff whenever they do the things that you really want them to do. They'll go so much further for you for that praise than anything else. So again, find those reasons to praise them. Make those goals incremental, break it down, talk about it every morning, and talk about the things that you're going to do in order to get there, and continue raising that bar a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher as you continue to reach those goals, and eventually you'll be at that goal that you're looking to accomplish. So we talked about breaking it down. We talked about showing them how they're involved in that. Talk to them about what procedures they'll be doing. Make sure they know how to do it. And then build that teamwork with them. Build that ownership in them of them really helping you to grow that office. I hope this has been helpful for you today in breaking down your goals into bite-sized chunks so that they're not overwhelming, that they can be a really positive thing for both you and your team. Thanks for joining us today. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when we post new content, and check our description for more ways to get our content. For information on how to join and get started realizing your dreams, go to amcfamily.com and click the Contact Us button.